Namaste. Tonight I'm going to read Volume 3, Book 3, SataRudra Samhita, Chapter 28, Shiva's incarnation as Yatinatha Hamsa in the Shiva Puran. Nandishvara said, O intelligent sage, listen, I shall explain the incarnation of great bliss named Yatinatha of Shiva, the Supreme Soul. O great sage, on the mountain Arbuda there lived a hunter, Ahuka of Bhila tribe. His wife, Ahuka, observed some good rites. Both of them were great devotees of Shiva and worshipped Shiva. O sage, once this Bhila, who was always devoted to Shiva, went far into the forest for fetching food for his wife. In the meantime, towards the evening, Shiva assumed the guise of an ascetic and came to his house to test him. The lord of the house, that intelligent man, too, came back then and lovingly worshipped the leading ascetic. In order to test his feelings, Shiva, in the guise of an ascetic indulging in great sports, lovingly said to him in a piteous tone, Yatinatha said, O Bhila, give me some place here to stay today. I shall by all means leave. In the next morning you will be blessed forever. Bhila said, O Lord, what you say is true, but please listen to me. The room is not spacious enough to hold us all together. Nandishvara said, thus addressed, the ascetic wanted to leave. By that time, considering the trend of thought of her husband, the Bhili said, O Lord, give him room to stay. Do not turn out a guest. Consider the duty of a householder, or virtue will be affected. You stay in the house along with the ascetic. I shall remain outside with immense weapons. Nandishvara said, on hearing the virtuous and auspicious words of his wife, the Bhila thought thus, how can I stay in the house after keeping my wife out? It will be sinful on my part if the ascetic goes elsewhere. Neither of the two courses is proper for a householder. What is destined to happen will surely happen. I shall stay outside. After thinking thus and insisting on it, he kept both of them within the house joyously. Himself stayed outside the house, keeping all the weapons beside him. During the night, the cruel beasts of prey tormented him. He too strenuously withstood them to the extent of his ability. Thus fighting strenuously, and although very strong, the Bhila was devoured by the beasts of prey which seized him forcibly, as though incited by his own adverse fate. Getting up in the morning, the ascetic saw the Bhila of the forest devoured by the beast of prey. He felt much dejected at it. Although the Bhili too was distressed, she suppressed her sorrow on seeing the ascetic miserable and spoke thus. Bhili said, O ascetic, why are you sorry? What has happened is for good. Blessed and contented is he since the death has happened in his matter. O ascetic, reducing myself to ashes, I too shall follow him. Be pleased to arrange for the pyre. This is the eternal duty of woman. When hearing her words, which he thought to be proper, the ascetic arranged the pyre. She entered the pyre dutifully. In the meantime, Shiva himself appeared before her and spoke, praising her lovingly. O blessed lady, O blessed lady. Shiva said, O sinless lady, mention the boon you wish to have. I am pleased with your conduct. There is nothing which cannot be granted to you. I am utterly subservient to you. Nandishvara said, on hearing the words of Shiva yielding the greatest bliss, she felt the highest pleasure. She did not remember anything. On seeing her in that state, Shiva was much delighted. He asked her again to mention the boon she wished to have. Shiva said, this ascetic, who is in my own form will assume the form of a swan in the next birth. He will lovingly unite both of you. This Bila will be born as Nala, the son of Virasena, in the excellent city of Nisada. There's no doubt in this. You will be born in the illustrious city of Vidarbha as the daughter of King Bhima. You will be famous as Damayanti, endowed with all good qualities. After coming together, you will enjoy royal pleasures. You will attain salvation too, inaccessible even to leading yogins. Nandishvara said, after saying this, Shiva assumed the form of phallic image. He became stationary. He is thereafter remembered as Akalesa. O there, the Bila Ahuka was born as the son of Virasena in the city of Nisada. He was the great king Nala. The great Bili Ahuka was born as the daughter of King Bhima in the city of Vidarbha. She became famous as Damayanti. Shiva in the form of Yatinatha was born as a swan. He managed the marriage of Damayanti with Nala. It was due to the merit accruing from hospitality that Lord Shiva gave them pleasure after assuming the form of a swan. The incarnation of Shiva as the swan, adept in the art of intelligence, was the bestower of great bliss to Damayanti as well as to Nala. This great and holy narrative of Shiva's incarnation of illustrious fame as swan is wonderful and indeed the bestower of salvation. He who narrates or listens to this auspicious story of incarnation of Yatinatha Hamsa attains the greatest goal. The story is faultless, bestower of the fruits of all desires, and very excellent. It is conducive to the attainment of heaven, fame, and longevity. It enhances devotion. After hearing the narrative of Shiva in the forms of an ascetic and a swan, the hearer enjoys all pleasures here and goes to Shiva's abode hereafter. Footnotes. 74. It can be identified with the present Abu, a sacred hill of the western India, lying in the Sirohi state of Rajputana. 75. The city of Nisada and Nesada, associated with King Nala, can be identified with Nalapura, modern Narwar, situated on the river Kalisindhu to the southwest of Gwalior. 76. The capital of Vidarbha is placed in Maharashtra, in the same as Kundanpur, modern Bidar, to the east of Amaravati in Virar. And here ends today's reading of the Shiva Puran. Hari Om. Prabhu Pranaratam Vyom Veshwanatham Jagannatham Sadhavatam. Hari Om Tat Sat.